what is your personal process for coming up with new beats, new soundtracks? What's kind of your process sort of from the very beginning of a new song, if you like?
A new song, mostly start with the melody and then try to work the drums into it, but it always starts with the melody, obviously. And we're trying to find melodies that are more catchy and pleasing to the ear instead of having just the same type of beat throughout the whole song. I'm trying to always, when I'm making a beat, what I try to do is I want to have the beat talk to me, and I want to have emotions and feelings just listening to the beat before we even get the lyrics on it. So we sit together, I start working on the beat, I get the basics down, Saint comes over, listens to it. Oh, what else can we add to this and that, and then we start working from there, and then we'll build the whole beat. But the whole thing is that it's not only the lyrics that's gonna take the whole track, it's the beat also. Both of them has to match perfectly, and that's what we're working on.
Yeah, both have to work together.
Yeah.
Do you find that when you're working on different beats, different tracks, come up with new ideas, do they come to you quite quickly, or do you go through quite a lot of drafts, different ideas? Have you got like a bit of a backlog now of old beats that you haven't used, or is it all kind of like once you've come up with something, you just focus on that one thing and you stick with it until you've made something out of it?
I wish it was that simple. I wish it was like straightforward. Oh, this is it, and we're just gonna work on this, and then we'll complete it. But it doesn't work like that. What usually happens is I got hundreds of beats, and then we're working on basically the ones that everybody's feeling. We got a whole team working on this. So once I make a beat or multiple beats, and then we get together, we sit down. What does everybody think? Because just because I'm the producer and I'm feeling it, oh, I really like this beat, I need to have everybody else's opinion. Are you feeling this beat? What do you think about it? What can we do on that? How does the artist feel about it? So we go through everything and then pick out the best ones, and that's what we usually try to focus on.
That kind of leads into the next question, actually, which was kind of what your process is for coming up with like a new set of lyrics, a new song, whatever it is. Is the kind of obviously you mentioned you kind of do a lot of kind of background research, if you like, and kind of implement that into what you're trying to say. Is there a particular process in terms of how you go about kind of step by step, or is it kind of different for each project?
It's certainly different. I mean, 2 years ago, when I lived in another property different to where I live now, it was in the middle of the summer. Now, this particular song is called Depression. This song, out of mostly all the songs I've wrote, is it resonates with me the most. Now, what particularly happened with this is it was middle of the summer, the sun was beaming, it was really hot, it was really bright outside. I woke up extra early, it was 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, walked out my bedroom, went to go down the stairs, headphones was on top of the banister, just so happened to be there, so I put them around my neck, started walking down the stairs. A notepad and a pen was a third of the way down the stairs as I was walking down. Picked that up, went into the garden. Well, I went into the kitchen, saw the sun obviously beaming down in the garden, and it was beaming down, and you could see the sun rays just shining on the chair in the middle of the garden, and it was almost like a sign, like, sit here, Opened the back door, went out, sat on the chair, put my headphones on, and I thought, right, okay, I'm gonna put Tupac on and start listening to some other artists who I respect to get some inspiration, what to write about. Fell asleep. About an hour later, I woke up with a horrific migraine. The head was pulsating. My fingertips was all, pins and needles and all of this. It was like having a mini stroke, or my left side was a bit numb. And I had this, when I woke up with this migraine, it just so happened this hip-hop instrumental was playing. Even though before I fell asleep, I was listening to actual artists. So I woke up, there was an instrumental playing, and I had a whole verse, 32-bar verse in my head, word for word. So with this migraine, but having a whole verse in my head that went perfectly with the instrumental, wow, I wrote that down. And I showed PsyRo the beat that I woke up to. I said the verse to him, and as I said that to him for the first time, he was kind of like, his reaction was priceless, you know. So it then took me another 2.5, 3 months to write 2 more verses to be just as good as that first verse. Where usually I write a verse, first attempt, first time, boom, done. But because I feel almost like that first verse didn't actually come from me, and it came from elsewhere, and it downloaded through me, you know? That's how it felt. So when I woke up, which is why it took so long to get 2 more verses to compete with the first verse. But obviously it being called depression, again, you know, everyone goes through pain and suffering and that kind of thing. So I tried to channel everything, sort of how I feel and what I know about that in there. So as well as researching and listening to an instrumental over and over again, closing my eyes and seeing what words come to my head, sometimes they just come to my head and they're there. I mean, I have a little voice recorder, so you know, when I'm driving around and some lyrics come in my head, I record it with the voice recorder straight away, and through time, those bars that I, you know, record becomes a verse. So there's multiple different ways how to do it, you know.
How important would you say social media has been to you, and do you utilize it at all? Is it going to be important in the future? Is that kind of what the platform's going to be?
Honestly, I'm not too big on the social media, really, because I'm trying to spend most of my time on music production instead of the social media. I also understand how important it is for us to be active on the social media, and we're gonna do everything in our power, and we got members in our team that's gonna be focused strictly on the social media part of the whole thing. It is very important, but I also feel that people overhype the social media, where I don't think you actually need so much social media attention. If your music is good and you bring in a good message and it's well put together, I think you will still be successful, whether or not you got 1 million or 2 million followers. It's gonna blow up.
What are your plans right now at this moment in time for Musicalkillah Records? What can people expect in the very near future?
A lot of music being released, and when given the chance and the opportunity, from what I was saying about the 5 things in the previous question, jump at these opportunities, gigs, concerts, you know, just getting out there, and hopefully the listeners growing by the numbers in mass numbers. That's obviously our objective. Of course, everyone wants to be, not everyone, but we certainly want to be known all over the globe. When my time ends on this earth, I want to be remembered in a positive manner, you know, and I want our music, I trust and have faith our music will leave a mark. And you know, if you're slightly going off track in life or whatever, just by listening to some of our songs, it puts you back on that path. It's almost being like the daddy for everyone, you know. Yeah.
What's basically around the corner for you at this moment in time?
Right now we're on a schedule. We're about 2-3 months away from releasing the first 2 singles, which is gonna be New Wave and Breaking Out. We're working on a music video for Breaking Out that's gonna be getting shot pretty soon. Once all that's done, we're gonna release 2 singles, and then from there on, we're gonna release 2 singles every 2-3 months, all the way up until the end of the year. And then starting next year, we're gonna drop an album. And then everything goes the way it's planned, then next year we're gonna start doing a UK tour.
All right, so just any sort of closing statements from yourself, anything you want to sort of leave the audience with whilst we wait for your next thing to drop? Support
what we're about, support our message, give us a chance, have a listen to our music, and yeah, the more involved, the more evolved.
Where can people find you at the moment?
Well, at the moment, so we do have a website that's currently closed to the public, mkrmusic.com. We are having, you know, it's obviously like things like this and everything that we need more of to add to these sites, etc. And once all of these tracks are ready to be released, obviously they'll be added to it, and then these websites will be open to the public. Instagram, Saint_Musicalkillah Records, or Musicalkillah Records you'll find on Facebook as @Musicalkillah Records. We do have Patreon, which we haven't really fully got involved with that at the minute. That these are future projects that we need to sort out for any believers or people that have faith in us that wish to invest or donate and you know, help us grow. Many thanks in advance. Yeah, and then when our songs are ready to be released to the world, which should be in the next month or two, it's going to be released over 1,500 different platforms worldwide. So you'll physically be able to find us anywhere after that.
Won't be able to get rid of you.
You won't be able to get rid of me. There's no getting rid of us once we're out there.
What's kind of the long-term picture then for you guys? Like, where would you say it's going to be, and what's the aim for 5 years' time?
5 years' time, I say world tour. By that time, definitely within the next 3 years, we're gonna do a world tour, and then just staying on it. Obviously, the more time I have, the more music we're gonna be able to produce. So once we actually get the support from the audience and from the people out there, and they start supporting us, then we're gonna be able to obviously buy better equipment, start doing more tours, producing more music on the regular basis, and this is a dream come true. I never thought that I'm going to start doing this and linking up with Saint, who's a lyrical genius. I can't stress that enough. This man puts words in a way where they perfectly make a perfect story, but they rhyme in. It's just, he blows my mind. He's a freaking genius.
It's like a sixth sense for some people, isn't it? I don't know how people do it either. I wish I could.
Yeah, man. He's on a different level. I'm telling you, he's on a whole new level. It's mind blowing. His talent is just crazy.
Great. Well, looking forward very much to seeing what you guys have in store for us in the future. Seems like you've been working on this for a long time, and it's all now time to kind of get out there. You've got a plan ahead.
Yep.
And yeah, it's all looking good. So wishing you all the best with that, and thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much.